Welcome to the Internet Files. Today, we're diving into one of the greatest maritime enigmas ever recorded, the story of a ship found adrift in the Atlantic with no crew, no struggle, and no explanation. The Mary Celeste. What happened to the men, women, and the child who vanished from her decks? Was it mutiny, piracy, or something far stranger? The Mary Celeste began life in 1861 in Nova Scotia, Canada. Originally named Amazon, she was a two-masted brigantine, 30 meters long, 282 tons, a sturdy merchant vessel meant for transatlantic trade. But from the start, the ship seemed cursed. Her first captain died of pneumonia on her maiden voyage. She collided with another vessel in the English Channel. She ran aground off Cape Breton. After years of costly repairs and ownership changes, she was bought in 1868 by an American group led by James Winchester, who renamed her Mary Celeste. Old sailors whispered that renaming a ship brings bad luck. For the Mary Celeste, that superstition would soon feel like prophecy. On the 5th of November 1872, the Mary Celeste set sail from New York bound for Genoa, Italy, carrying 1,701 barrels of industrial alcohol, a dangerous but profitable cargo worth over $35,000, millions in today's money. Her master was Captain Benjamin Briggs, a 37-year-old New England mariner known for discipline, intellect, and deep faith. He had brought along his wife Sarah and their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, a rare decision for a merchant captain, but the route was considered safe. The crew of 7 men were experienced sailors from several nations, Germans, Americans, and Scandinavians, all with clean records. Briggs trusted them completely. For the owners, this voyage was crucial. After years of financial trouble, a successful delivery would restore the ship's reputation. Nearly a month later, on the 4th of December 1872, another ship, the Dei Gratia, commanded by Captain David Morehouse, spotted the Mary Celeste drifting about 740 kilometers west of Portugal, near the Azores. The Dei Gratia had left New York 8 days later on the same route. When Morehouse's crew boarded the Mary Celeste, they found nothing. No captain, no passengers, no crew, but the ship itself, almost perfect. Her hull was sound, the cargo mostly intact, with only 9 barrels empty. The lifeboat was gone, the compass was damaged, not unusual for a storm. Some sails were torn, but she was fully seaworthy. The logbook ended on the 25th of November, positioning her close to the Azores, just days before she was found. There was no sign of struggle, no blood, no storm damage, and provisions for 6 months still neatly stored. Personal belongings, clothing, charts, even the captain's papers, were untouched. It looked as though everyone had simply walked away. Captain Morehouse sailed the Mary Celeste to Gibraltar for the official inquiry, and for a possible salvage reward, common in maritime law. British authorities suspected foul play. Had Morehouse and his crew staged the discovery to claim the reward? But the inspection cleared them completely. Their behavior was beyond reproach. Then investigators noticed deep cuts on the deck and railing, which some claimed were from an explosion. Yet there were no burn marks, no fire damage, and the alcohol barrels hadn't detonated. Later analysis revealed that the empty barrels were made from red oak, a porous wood that can leak vapor. These fumes might have escaped, creating the sound or smell of an explosion and terrifying the crew into abandoning ship. Still, it was only speculation. For 150 years, experts have argued over what really happened aboard the Mary Celeste. Let's examine the leading possibilities. A riot or mutiny could explain the missing crew and lifeboat. The alcohol cargo was extremely valuable. Perhaps someone tried to steal it, or tensions erupted among sailors frightened of carrying such flammable material. But there's no trace of violence, no blood, and the cargo and money were untouched. Pirates rarely leave treasure behind. A sudden waterspout, rogue wave, or minor explosion could have frightened the crew. A rush of water onto the deck might have made the ship appear to be sinking. In panic, Briggs may have ordered everyone into the lifeboat temporarily, expecting to reboard later. Evidence supporting this. Some sails were torn, suggesting rough weather. There was about a meter of water in the bilge, enough to alarm a captain. Against it, the logbook described no storm. The ship was still upright and stable when found. If they left in haste, they never returned. 9 leaky barrels could have released alcohol vapors into the hold. A single spark or lantern could cause a loud but flashless explosion, blowing open hatches without burning the ship. The crew, believing the cargo about to ignite, may have launched the lifeboat and drifted away, never finding their way back. This remains one of the most plausible theories, supported by the absence of fire and the condition of the deck. Captain Briggs, though experienced, might have misread his instruments. A damaged chronometer or compass could have convinced him they were dangerously off course near rocks or shallows. Seeing a bit of water in the hold, he could have believed the ship was sinking and ordered evacuation, a tragic misjudgment from an otherwise cautious man. But family and peers described Briggs as too level-headed for such a blunder. Another theory suggests a conspiracy between the owners or another crew to stage an abandonment and claim insurance money. However, the cargo was delivered intact, the vessel undamaged, and no evidence of collusion ever surfaced. The Gibraltar court ultimately ruled there was no crime, just an unexplained disappearance. The mystery inspired darker ideas: alien abduction, sea monsters, even the Bermuda Triangle, though the incident occurred far north of that region. These theories persist mainly because the logical ones still leave unanswered questions. The Mary Celeste was repaired and sailed again, but her reputation was destroyed. No crew wanted to serve on a ghost ship. Over the next decade, she changed owners repeatedly and fell into financial ruin. In 1885, her final captain deliberately wrecked her in the Caribbean in an attempted insurance scam. He survived. The ship didn't. The wreck was discovered decades later near Gonave Island, Haiti. To this day, historians, divers, and writers still debate what really happened between November 25 and December 4, 1872. A crew of 10, including a young mother and her child, vanished from a seaworthy vessel in calm seas. No bodies, no lifeboat, no goodbye, only a ghost ship, drifting silently through the Atlantic, perfectly intact. Was it fear, mutiny, accident, or something that defies reason? The Mary Celeste remains one of the greatest unsolved puzzles in maritime history, a reminder that even in an age of science and navigation, the ocean keeps its secrets. What do you think happened that night? Was it human panic, or something beyond explanation? Share your thoughts below. And remember, every mystery has a story, but not always an answer.